Today I'm going to be doing an out-of-game tutorial, and it's not really a tutorial, it's more of like an overview. I'm going to be reviewing a couple of amplifier pages and champions today, as well as a little bit of the stolen powers and what I think are important. So it's an out-of-game tutorial. I want to talk a little bit about how I do things in the jungle and how I see the game in metagame, and how I think the game actually translates into a competitive scene with the specific champions and roles that we're given, as well as how I build out my amplifiers and use what stolen powers. So first of all, I'm going to go over my two main amplifier pages. This one's just like an ADC page or a marksman page. My main page is going to be an AD page. Now this one, because I don't have all my AD things quite set up, it's we're still in the new patch. I don't really have it set up exactly the way I want to, but it works really well. So this is my Gascat page, and usually on Gascat I don't actually buy the Claw of Horus, but I want to talk about these three mods, which I think are all amazing picks for AD bruiser junglers. I say bruiser in a loose term because I actually do use a lot of these items on assassins as well. The first mod that I take is going to be the Enhanced Claw of Horus. I get the 15 additional attack armor. It's really strong. You take a good item and make it better. It's really just the basis of it. And you usually want to mod the items that you're going to be buying, which usually this is going to be more of like a defensive AD character, usually, because of the way I have this page set up. So I have the 15 additional armor. I'm going to take the 9 additional attack damage. I know I'm going to be buying the Coda Blade. It's usually one of the items I buy early on going out of the jungle, and I just want to go ahead and make it a little stronger, get 9 additional damage to it. I'll have that pen item, something I can hold on to for the rest of the game. Now, with the Sword of Beowulf, this is usually kind of counter-buildy plan to, be someone that's not going to build a lot of power armor, so you buy this item. This is perfect for you. I'm not going to buy a lot of counter-building power armor items in the jungle, specifically on a lot of the champions that I play, so I look to get this as a means to give my champion more damage while adding additional armor onto an already really great item that has an amazing shield and power armor additionally on it. As for my augments, I don't want to talk about them too much because, again, I don't really have them that specified, but I'm using attack damage, attack pen, health movement speed, health attack armor, and power armor movement speed. So you can see it's a broad like array of different stats and things that you may need as a jungler, as an AD jungler, someone that's going to be using these stats. As for my Atomic GL page, which I also kind of double as my Shazam page, it gets a little rough on this one because I don't really quite have the pages to make for these champions. My main mod that I'm using is going to be the Medusa's Mask mod. I usually end up starting with a Marauder Shield and the Medusa 2, which is really all you get, but on Atomic GL and Shazam, you get a really good return out of it. You can get a good clear, get yourself sustained, and this actually translates later into the game really, really well. Right after that, I usually tend to go for the Oa's Gambit 2. Gives you more armor, gives you a little bit of power damage, and it gives you that investment, which I tend to hold on to till late game, till I either decide to get rid of this, or I upgrade it and get the Advanced Aura, which is what I have on this mod right here. So it's like a one foot in the door. It actually can sometimes waste an item, but at the same time, if you have a really power heavy team, or if you're just doing a lot of damage, you want to get some of that power off the enemies, so buying this is a great item. My second item that I usually buy in the jungle as a power jungler with Atomic GL or Shazam is the Fatalities Energy Lance. It's an amazingly strong, great, well-rounded power damage item that has good cooldown reduction, good power damage, and so why not just make it that much stronger? Again, we're going to look at some of these Augs. I know you can't see them all. I'll just talk about them briefly. Actually, you can see them all whenever I mouse over them. So we have power damage and power pen, attack armor and health, power lifesteal and attack armor. This one's kind of help in the jungle a tidbit. It's a flat rate. And then we have health and attack armor. So again, helpful, good stats to use. It's almost like a mirror of the other page. So those are some good stats and good pages to run if you're looking to get into jungling for kind of like, I don't know, a bruiser jungler and then like an AD jungler. They're really, really broad. So let's talk about the champions really quick. I want to go over who I think are junglers, and I want to explain what makes a jungler. So a jungler champion, like how you can classify a character or a champion as a jungler. Jungler champion has to have someone that has good CC, can make their way through the jungle efficiently, and has a good return for your team, like a good payout and return whenever they come into gank. So, for example, I'm going to go over who I think are the best junglers right now, and then I'm going to talk about who I think are just good junglers in general. So right now, I think the best junglers that we're going to see in this game are going to be Doomsday, Nightmare Batman, and Gaslight Catwoman. The number one reason why is Gotham Divided is a huge map. You have a limited amount of vision, and while we have more vision than we did on Coast City, these invisible assassins are going to be an amazing force to reckon with. Doomsday with his new movement speed steroid and his ultimate pushback with his RE combo. It's amazingly easy to get that stun into the wall, time your third Q into a stun, and have a really effective gank, at very least pushing them out of lane. Other junglers I would recommend are going to be Atomic Ivy, Wonder Woman Prime, Atomic Wonder Woman, Batman Prime. We have Atomic Green Lantern, a very effective jungler. Shazam. Maybe Big Joker. I think he would definitely be classified as a jungler, although I haven't tried him at all this patch, as you can see. And that's going to be it. Flash could have been a jungler, but he's just a little too strong. It's not... I don't know. He's a little too strong in the sense of late game that I would rather just see him go into a lane. And he also has a little bit of a hard time in jungle early on. Same as Robin. He's a little bit more effective in lane, especially if you want to use him as support. So I'd rather not see him in jungle. I'm going to go ahead and transition over to the shop so we can take a look at the stolen powers since they don't have that tab set up under the profile. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. We're going to go to stolen powers. I want to talk about the main stolen powers and then the ones that I use specifically. So I'd say the main stolen powers, which I guess are going to kind of fall under the same thing. In this meta currently, I think teleport's going to be extremely strong. You can be used for split pushing, catching up to a team, initiating a gank. It's going to be a very strong stolen power to use. So Cyborg's teleport, obviously the teleport resolves faster. Catwoman's has a reduced cooldown. So honestly, I think in the best sense out of those two, I would go with the Cyborgs. Invulnerability, a really strong spell, good to sustain yourself in a team fight, good for laning phase, good for baiting. Out of the two, Shazam's heals over time. Doomsday's does more sponging. So Doomsday's invulnerability, definitely a must. Detonate. Out of the two detonates, we have Harley Quinn's detonate and Joker's detonate rather. This one has a slow. This one does a set number of power damage based on your power damage. I would definitely go with Joker's detonate. Usually you can use that to slow, clean up kills, and help you clear the jungle if you're a jungler. Out of the two consumes, I definitely going to recommend Atomic Green Lantern's consume. Can also be used in lane as a good escape, a good way to get some health back, and really effective in the jungle. As for any other spell, they're usually going to come off as like tier 2, tier 3 spells for me, things that you just not necessarily going to take. I missed one. Here we are. Robin Surveillance Cameras. Out of the two, it's really, really close. The Robin Surveillance Camera is going to give you more longevity in lane. You're not going to have to go back and refill those cameras quite as often. But Gaslight Batman Surveillance Cameras are going to give you less charges with a larger area of vision. I think, in my mind right now, Robin Surveillance Cameras is still a little bit better, so make sure you're grinding up those champions. Make sure you're testing out some of the new amplifier pages whenever you get the credits to buy them. Try out the new champions, and hopefully you guys will like Gotham Divided as much as I have. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully an out-of-game tutorial is a little bit nice, a little bit less, less long, and hopefully we'll see more of these as new things change and I have some information to give you guys. Alright, as always, I've been Crashy, and I'll catch you guys later.